when I tell you this. So apparently she wrote a song, and the song was about you.
Oh, I just remembered the name. Charity case.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, what is it called? And she was like, she titled the song Charity Case. I'm not gonna lie. The anger that felt through my body when I heard that title Charity Case, because it never gave Charity Case over here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 7 of the O2 podcast. Yes, your boys are back again. You know, we're just trying to be consistent. That's all we really trying to do in these days. Quasi's not feeling well.
No, don't mind me. It's just I needed to sneeze, and I'm not trying to have my face on the internet for that. How you eating on the podcast?
Yo, bro, you're not gonna be eating oats.
You're not gonna be doing that.
So I waited for.
I'm telling you right now, you're not. No, stop. Because I told you I was eating. You should have had the common sense to eat while I was eating.
I had some stuff to do, bro.
Really? So how were we supposed to shoot at 7:30?
How big is that fucking bowl of oatmeal?
That's a massive bowl too, but we're gonna ignore that. Why didn't you eat earlier?
First of all, since when did y'all start working for Weight Watchers? A nigga can't. Y'all pay my groceries.
No. That's some gigantic bowl of oatmeal, bro.
I don't give a fuck.
Huge, bro.
That shit's definitely the size of your head, bro.
It looks like porridge, like the type of shit like fucking pilgrims would eat.
Hey, you know the crazy part? Around the rim, the oatmeal goes around it. So that means that shit was started from the top. That's just gotta be like 3 cups of oatmeal, bro.
Bro, that's like 5.
That's
a serving for a whole family of 6.
That's like 3,000 calories in there.
Y'all measure cups? I just pour it till it gets.
Oh yeah, that's what I do too.
Yeah. What's your recipe though?
I think I have the most goated oatmeal recipe. So I use milk, then I pour the oats in, and I let it. I never do it over the microwave. I boil it on the stove. Stove oatmeal is better than microwave one. So I boil it, let it do its thing. When it's ready, I pour it in my trusty bowl. I put in peanut butter. I put in protein powder, honey, and a little bit of nutmeg.
I do overnight oats. I feel like overnight oats taste so much better. Like
I've heard that. I heard that one time.
No, I make it every night so that I can take it to work in the morning. It's oats. Yeah, oats, chia seeds, Greek yogurt, protein powder, and a little bit of vanilla extract or cinnamon.
Quadro's disgusted.
Seeds?
He's disgusted by this chia. I'm not fucking you.
And the milk. Bro, chia seeds have no flavor, and they're so good for you.
But my thing is, and here's my problem with you, Shakir.
But I thought them shits were for chia pets.
What the fuck is that?
We're gonna ignore that.
No. Don't be stupid. Don't act like I'm stupid. Don't act like I'm stupid. Y'all never heard of chia pets?
I've heard of chia pets. Nobody ever said
exactly.
Chia.
I didn't know people ate the seeds. I thought that shit was just for like growing chia pets.
You know what, brother? No. I hear it.
Humans consume that?
I hear it.
Yes.
I hear it though. I hear it. But my whole thing is
healthy fat and protein and calories.
My whole thing is
protein does.
If you can pack lunch, not lunch. If you could pack breakfast, why don't you also just pack lunch?
Because I'm already packing.
We're not going to discuss with that. No, don't talk to him about
lunch
that.
Too.
Exactly.
I'm already making breakfast. Why would I make lunch too?
Quadro, don't talk to him about this. Don't. You know, at a certain point when someone touches money, they just want to enjoy life and eat out.
Exactly.
Let him rock.
But that's
he doesn't make no sense, but let him rock.
Disclaimer, guys. If you guys haven't tapped into the O2 Reacts channel, our special guest has appeared. I'm not going to let you guys know who, but I'm saying we got some good stuff going on over there. So if you tune into the podcast week in and week out, just go over there to the Reacts, give us a little subscribe, like, comment, let us know what you think about the videos. But that's my little cameo. But you guys, how has your week been?
Terrible. I'm sick. How about you, Shakir?
Well, Ramadan started, so I've just been starving all fucking day. I
Oh,
just broke my fast like an hour ago. Like I'm using my last bit of energy on this podcast. Afterwards, I'm knocking the fuck out.
You're not gonna eat?
Yeah,
yeah. I
I'm
think.
gonna have dinner. I had iftar, which is like what you eat to break your fast.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna have dinner, and then I wake up at around like 4 a.m. to have like oatmeal, and then go back to sleep.
I always say this: Muslims are a lot stronger than me. I'm not a faster. In the words of a wise man, he said, "I would like to fast, but I just be hungry."
Hmm.
I,
Hmm.
I would like the school I work at. There's this one girl who's Muslim in the class, and she like fasts every day. She comes in the morning with like hella energy, and I'll be looking at her. I'm like, I don't know how you do it. If I miss breakfast, my whole day's ruined.
You know, like I found out about this recently, but like fasting is actually like intermediate fasting is like one of the best things you can do for your body. Like there's like a certain period of time after of like hunger. I think it's like starts from 48 hours to 76 hours. If you can be hungry for 48 hours, after that your cells literally start burning up like bad cells, and like it literally like refreshes yourself. There's like a Nobel Peace winning like paper on it. It's crazy. But I don't think I could ever not eat for fucking 48 hours. That's
You
ridiculous.
knew about this, Quadro? You're like the medical expert here.
I did, but I like food too much. I'm not doing that. What the hell?
Hmm.
I see what my bowl of oats. If I had to go my bowl of oats, I don't know what I eat this every single day. Every single no. It's rarely days I go past where I don't eat it.
Yeah, since I started eating oats, it's been like routine. I'm getting tired of this shit, but like it's routine at this point. I just need the
I don't
calories
know why
and the
people would say
Have
that.
y'all
Like,
gotten thick because y'all be eating oats?
huh?
what kind of question is that?
We got fucking ice spice over here.
Yeah, I'm thick because I've been eating them oats.
Nah, Quadro don't
I
need
ain't
that.
like y'all because I don't eat oats, but you know.
Quadro don't need that shit. He was born with it. We go through all this work just to show a little bit of what he has, just to imitate, just to be a poor imitation of him.
Double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon,
I'll
bro.
never forget.
Nah.
I don't think we spoke about this enough, but recently you guys like whatever the news or whatever. But before that, there was this one week where I was like down bad, tremendous. Like I woke up. What's up?
No, I said how so, but
Like
keep going.
I woke up. I missed breakfast. I was almost late to work. I had to work. I had to work 2 times that day. Right. All that. Right. I'm at my second job. I'm like on my last legs. Right. I look on my phone. That's when Ibra sent the WWE video. Right. So I click it. I click it. And I'm like, oh, like I see a bunch of you working out. And he's like, Quadro, why did you never try for wrestling? I'm on my last legs, right? So, and he's like, you always in the gym. He's like, you damn near the size of these people. Why don't you just go? He's like, he was like, put your pain to get in some money. And I remember I looked at the screen. I was like, this can't be my life right now. I knew it told him this, but that hurt my feelings. But I know it was from a place of love, so I let him slide. But I was like, damn.
I think that day you were like, yo, do y'all respect me?
Because y'all don't. Some of the suggestions, some of you guys come in the group chat and be like, "You need to go try this." I don't think y'all respect me enough, and it's not spoken about nearly enough on in our group dynamic.
This brother's. I know you want to take a bite, bro. Just what, bro?
He's licking his
Why
lip.
couldn't you finish eating,
You see how big his fucking spoon is?
bro? Like, that's why niggas be saying go do bodybuilding, bro. You damn well need eating like a bodybuilder.
Bodybuilding, I realize it's just gonna be a hobby for me. Like, don't get me wrong, I love everything that goes with it, like the hard weeks, like what they have to do. But for me to get up and go stand on a bodybuilding stage, that would never happen a day in my life. No, no.
I heard Jonathan Myers. It's not Jonathan Myers. Jonathan Majors is coming
The
out
one
with
that
a
beat this girl.
bodybuilding movie.
Yeah, he has a good.
The
Yeah,
one
well,
that
he
beat this.
didn't beat her. He was
Oh
innocent.
yeah. She lied about her, right?
Yeah, which ruined his
And
whole career. But
literally,
there's a bodybuilder. He's basically the co-lead. Well, no, he is the
that
lead of a
he
bodybuilding movie
was
that's
having
coming out.
such a crazy year.
He was on a
Like
run
he was on like a crazy run. He had Creed 3. He was about to become the main villain in the MCU, and then all of that taken away. Like,
for an
is he
allegation.
suing? Is he suing?
He
No.
can't, what sue for what money?
What do you mean for what money? For defamation?
Did you guys see the
Yeah.
video?
Okay.
Did you guys see the
Okay.
video of how
Shakir.
fast he
Loss,
was running down the
loss
street?
of
Shakir.
loss of opportunity.
How do you sue someone who doesn't have money? You're losing money at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, I would still do that shit. Like, I need the moral victory. What the fuck?
Sometimes a
Nah, but
moral victory is not worth
I
it, gang.
think
Nah,
he's
bro.
kind of make it, or I don't know. The movie was filmed before the whole allegation, but it's being put out where he's a bodybuilder and taking roids and whatever. He's trying to do the show, but he's not quite up there. So he's the underdog. I don't think he ever makes it to stage. I think he dies from steroids, but
Yeah.
that's what the trailer was pushing.
That's also another thing why I can't do bodybuilding. Is like at a certain point, like if I wanted to peak at what my natural talents are, I'm going to peak at some point. Like I'm going to have to take that like steroid use to get to like the level to step on stage. And I don't like drugs, so that's where the journey stops for me.
No, they're natural bodybuilders. You could be a natural bodybuilder.
But but that's the thing. I don't love. Like I feel like the people that I know that are like do bodybuilding, it's genuinely for the love of the game. I don't have the love for the game as much as they do.
You don't. Well, that's how you think. Okay, the way I think about it is different. I just want to show I'm better than you.
Okay,
So
so
I would just show up on the competition, flex my muscles quite literally, so that I'm better than you, walk away. And the worst
The
part,
way
if you don't do it for the love of the game and someone does it for the love of the game and you beat them,
the
that's
way
your
I think
questions
about
career.
it, the way I think about it is that I don't want to be on stage lubed up wearing a speedo in front of everyone because that's kind of crazy to me.
like I think recently, if you guys know Sam Sulek, right?
Yeah.
He recently just became an IFBB pro, right? And the reason his like journey is insane is because he didn't take the typical like he's like I think he doesn't have a coach, and it's just him, and he's doing all these research by himself, and he's like, but the reason like for me personally, my style of lifting, I think, is more of like suited towards like Sam Sulek's. That's why like I usually watch him because he's more of like you just go in there and push as much weight as you can and just walk out. Like my biggest problem with bodybuilding these days is like people, and I had this problem when I was in college specifically with like some of the lifters that were in my college, was that they're always trying to find the best way to optimize their workout, and I feel like that's how Shakir works out.
Why is that wrong?
No, that's not wrong in the sense that I feel like
Because I like, for example, the guy I watch. It's like the science-based guy. What's his name?
I know who
Jeff,
you're talking about. He's
Jeff
like
Nippard.
5'4"
Jeff Nippard.
from
Jeff
Canada.
Nippard. Jeff Nippard. Yeah, yeah. Like I like his videos. I feel like that should make sense.
Uh-huh.
But that's what I'm saying is that like as I got out of college, and I wish I would have had the conversation with some of these lifters, is that I don't. It wasn't necessarily like, but it was just like I just have a preference of how I want to do my fitness, and I feel like that's like a message that more people should understand is that nobody should dictate or tell you how to lift. Like you should lift based on like a how you feel and be what you prefer. I love Jeb Nipper's videos in the sense that like if I ever wanted to try something new, I would go to his videos. I wouldn't necessarily model my workouts after it because that's not the style that works for me.
Yeah.
So, for example, it's
Yeah.
like you lift. I feel like you lift a lot different. Like for me, when I step in the gym for 3 hours from hour 1 to hour 3, we're pushing as much weight as we can in every exercise for a certain rep range. I don't go under 8 and I don't go over 12. I'm usually in between them. So usually whatever weight will challenge me and make me like sweat between those for every set, that's what I'll do.
Yeah, I mean, I do the same. I aim for 8 to 10 rep range on like the highest weight I can go.
No, but
I feel like that keeps the workout shorter too, because I'm not trying to be there for 3 hours.
I am like that's for the love of like I'm just like sometimes I'm just in there like when I leave the gym I want to feel like I just walk through like World War III. Like I am beat. Like every time I'm beat. So it's like that's how lifting works for me. Like I see results with it, but like with somebody else, it might not work the same way. Another reason I
Yeah.
couldn't do bodybuilding is because I want a career like a regular career. Like I want like that. And I feel like if you don't dedicate, there's a quote that somebody says, like, if you're not doing it every day, you're not gonna beat the man that does it every day. So it's like if I'm over here doing it part time
Well,
and there's one nigga who like literally wakes up, breathes, and lives bodybuilding, unless you're
You do
genetically
do that
gifted,
shit every day.
what's up?
You do that shit every day.
I
yeah,
don't, I don't do it as much as I could do it every day though.
You do it enough.
but
3 hours
see,
a
that's the
day.
thing. Bodybuilding is partially like, well, yes, most of it is the amount. It's not always the amount of weights you lift. It's how effective you're lifting.
Yeah.
So you don't have to necessarily do it every day. Steroids got your back.
Hmm.
It's just how your body reacts to the weight you're lifting
Yeah.
and how your body reacts to the steroids. Because some people get
That's what I'm saying, but like
freaked
I
out.
don't lift optimally to like I don't think you understand. I'm past the stage of the muscles. I don't care. I don't care. I do not.
You
I
just,
don't. I
you just
stopped.
do it for fun.
I stopped caring the minute my little beach fiasco phase stopped. That's the minute I stopped caring. Like that's the minute I stopped. The minute those pictures started going out every summer, I said I don't go fuck no more. I don't care. So now I literally just go there to be like, okay, like for today I went to the gym. I did some exercise that I'm really like proud of. Like I feel good and like cool, and I just like walk out. But like it's like stuff like that where I'm like I think about it now and I'm just like lifting like it's become so much more fun when I stop chasing the physique.
Mm.
When I stopped caring what I look like, for some reason that's when like it got better. So now every time I go to the gym, I'm excited because I'm just like, what are we gonna do today? Like I like usually I'm challenging myself. I think last time like I told myself if I get to the dumbbell incline press, the day I reach 120, that's the day I'm hanging up my membership for that gym. And I have to go find a new gym. So it's like, like a
So where are
TP
you right now?
115.
So you got like a month or two left in
No,
that
but
bitch?
I have to lift it for like 12
A
reps
certain rep
for
range. Yeah.
So,
exactly
bro,
12 or
to math.
more for 4 sets in a row. And after I do that, that's when I'm like, okay, I've conquered this weight. Then I move on to the next one. Then I work it out.
So you
So when I get to
okay?
120, I'm gonna hang out my membership. But I don't think I'm gonna get there though. That shit's getting hard.
Why not?
But that shit, I'm bro. The other day, I came home and I like took a nap. I woke up. I felt like somebody ran over me with a truck. Those Amazon trucks. And I was like, no, I had to like take. I took a mandatory rest day. I was like, this is not how a body should be feeling. But
No.
it's little stuff like that. But I don't know. Like recently, I've been seeing more people like do fitness, and I'm like, I feel like I keep saying this all the time. I had a life without muscles, and I had a life with muscles, right? And I would choose the life with muscles any lifetime of the week. I could be a plant. I will have muscles. I don't care what anybody
Why is
says
that?
because I feel like people don't understand. Like the gym, I feel like the gym teaches you everything but lifting weights. In the sense that like you learn so much. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I've learned so much about myself and life by being in the gym. I think the biggest one has taught me is that like anything is possible. Like there's nothing you can't if you put your mind to it, you can't do. That's the biggest lesson the gym taught me. So I'm just like, I feel like that if you just take even if you don't get the dream body that you want, what it does to like your confidence, your discipline, and your consistency is like worth a lot more than what you're gonna get like with like a six pack. Like,
The discipline, I definitely agree with. Like
yeah,
when you start doing consistently going to the gym, like your whole life comes into like a routine because like you gotta start eating right. You have to set specific times to go to the gym, specific to time to like go work, like do your hobbies and shit like that. I feel like it definitely helps with discipline.
that's what I'm saying. So I was like, what it like the changes is made because I started lifting the freshman spring our freshman year spring, and we've all been there. I was heartbroken. That's why I decided to step in the gym. And it didn't help that my gym partner was also a depressed man. So it's like we was literally just we would like that's when the 3 hours started. And this is gonna sound so bad. We would literally go in the gym and stay in there and work out long enough so that the pain of like the weights would outweigh the pain we were feeling at the time. And then that was our cue to leave the gym. And for some reason, For some reason, it was always between the 3 and the 4 hour mark. But then we were like at some point, 4 hours became a lot because we had classes. So 3 hours was like the sweet spot. I remember that freshman spring
You
was
know, one thing though, like having someone depressed, what's it called? What do you call when someone's like watching you push the weights? Spot. Spot. Having someone depressed spot you, I feel like what if this motherfucker just like, you know what? Life's not
Life
worth
is not worth it.
it. Like I need my spotter to want another day out of his life.
Yeah, nah, the weight is coming down on your neck. It's like, why do I need to lift it up when my mood is not up? Pushes it down with you.
Yeah, he's better off.
Nah. You're better off dead.
the gym. That gym, those gym sessions. And I remember we used to be like at each other's necks like 24/7. He was like, he would be like, "You ain't shit," like you ain't shit. And we go press a bunch of 60s. And then I remember
Y'all ever consider therapy?
shut up. Let me know when you come up with someone.
Wait a minute.
And I was thinking about it the other day
That
because
shit works on y'all?
I was like thinking about it the other day, and I was like, so much from at least from that period of time, from the freshman spring till now, at least recently, my whole life has been like built on this idea of like I'm fueling off the negative energy that goes on in my like that's the fuel, right? I'm scared if I go to therapy and they fix me, I'm not gonna be me anymore. What if I come back and I'm not funny anymore? Like, so I remember because Ibra brought it up.
To
And
an
was like,
extent, I see what you're saying.
like that's what I'm saying is that like my entire life has been like I'm not saying I had the worst life, but I've had my fair share of challenges, and like those challenges is what's like propelled me to do anything like that I'm remotely like proud of. So if I cut my fuel source, then what is my fuel source now?
Here's the thing.
Love
Like
and appreciation.
Nah,
I feel like you fundamentally like misunderstand what therapy is. It's not like fixing you. Because I live with a therapist and like I have like my dad is in therapy, like my brother's in therapy, like I have multiple people around me that are in therapy. And my sister in law is a therapist. So I've
Is this
seen
a
what
plug?
like therapy
I feel like
no,
he's giving a plug.
yeah,
Yeah.
but like I've seen what therapy can actually do.
okay.
And I feel like you're what's it called? Like you're undercutting it by like making it seem like, oh, I have a problem, therapy's gonna fix the problem. It's not like fixing the problem. It's more of like dealing with it in a healthy way. And I have seen firsthand like how much it could help people.
But what
Has it
does that?
helped you?
Do you go?
Huh? I
Do you
don't
Of
need
go?
course
therapy.
he does.
Fine. I'm chilling, bro. If I feel like I needed it, I would.
See, that's the thing. Like, I feel like at a certain point, like internally, you sometimes you would be more reluctant to go to therapy because you like obviously, for example, Shakir, you see Quadro, you're like, yo, have you ever thought of therapy? Because you're seeing from the outside in, right? But him
Yeah.
seeing from the inside in, it's like, I'm I don't need it, right? So like
But I feel like
you said
in times
I'm
like
good.
this, maybe you should look for outside like opinions.
No, that's what yeah, that was what I was getting to. Like you, like I was just that's what I was pivoting to. Like you said,
Yeah.
he asked, "Have you been to therapy? Do you use it?" You said, "I'm good." Like from outside in, someone who'd be like, "Yo, you should probably go to therapy," but internal, like to you, you're like, "I'm all right. I'm fine," because technically you've been living with this your whole life. Like you're used to
I
it.
see what
So
you mean.
like you're blinded. You got the veil in your eyes. But
Yeah.
to that point, like therapy does help in certain ways. I personally haven't been to a therapist, but my job gives it like 12 free sessions. Would I go? I don't think so. Right? And it's not like I will never go. In my current state, I don't think I will. I will
Yeah.
probably I'm so used to like I always break down things in my head and resolve it before I go and actually like try to find a solution for like go outside and try to find a solution for it, right? So My problem is like if I go to a therapist, I'll tell them stuff and yeah, they'll talk to me. They'll be like this, and that. They'll help me reflect. But my thing is, I'm probably not gonna actually take it seriously.
It's
Do you know
it's
what I mean?
it's not
Like,
even it's not even taking it seriously. I'm sorry if I'm cutting you off, but it's like
no, you're good.
it's like my thing is like I grew up in an African household. We don't go to like therapy wasn't something I even knew existed until I stepped to the United States. When I was in high school, right? I didn't know you could just pay somebody to go listen to your problems and be like, "Here you go, let's work it out." Right? I was from that point on, I was under the impression when you have a problem, you have one of two choices. You can sit there and cry, or you can sit there and get up about it. And you're gonna run out of water eventually. So eventually, you might as well just start thinking about a solution from the get go.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? But my thing is that since it was never advertised in my childhood, and it's something that I haven't like my brain, I don't think my brain is like engineered to be like this is a way to go. And I feel like that's a lot of things where like we're being adults now, we're talking about it, and people are just like even like Ibra like spoke about it briefly. He was like, oh, like you have to admit like you can't just play the blame game and play the blame game, which I'm not, but it's just like to a certain extent you have to understand like when you grow up a certain way and this is like all you've known for so long, making that adjustment isn't going to come in like the blink of a like it's not going to like you don't change like this like
Yeah,
but
of
also
course.
Well, that's why therapy will help you like
but
reverse it.
that's my other thing is that I don't want to go to therapy just because somebody's recommended it to me. If I'm the day I step into therapy, I want to go there because I have reflected, I've done my own research, and I'm like internally in me, I am like I feel like I need this because that's the only way I'm going to benefit. Don't get me wrong, I can go to therapy tomorrow. That's not going to do anything because I don't think I need it. I'm going to be sitting there looking. I'm really going to go there. Me and the therapist going to be looking at each other like this. So it's not going to be beneficial. So like I feel like, and most of the time when you guys are like, "Have you thought about you need therapy?" I absolutely
I
think I
don't say
do.
that.
I absolutely you don't say it, but the others do. But and I don't disagree. I think I could benefit a lot from therapy and unraveling a lot of other stuff. It's just the moment I want to step in there, I want to step in there after I've done my reflection and understand that I need it and I need to go unravel it for myself. It's like you could take all these outside opinions all you want, but if you don't believe it in yourself or you don't like think you're gonna get, you're just gonna be there wasting your money.
But the thing is, like, that's like
N- We should all go to
that's
therapy
like
together,
going
bro.
to that's like going to a baker with a cake ready. You know what I mean?
I'm
Like
not
you.
I'm not saying well, my problem fixed. I'm saying going there under like internally understanding that I need it. Like having
Oh
that
yeah,
belief.
of course. I
Yeah,
feel
that's what
like
I mean.
you
Not my
need
problem.
to like
Yeah.
exactly because like
Yeah,
it's not
that's what
like
I was going to when I said I wouldn't take it
like
seriously.
I don't think therapy is like a passive thing where you just go there and you sit down and your problems are fixed. It's an active decision I feel like you need to make. And yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah.
So that's the part I was getting to is that like I agree I need it and at some point in my life I would like to put one foot in front of the other and practice what I preach. But it's like for me to get there, it's gonna like it's taking me some time. And this year I've actually actively working on it where it's like I'm thinking a lot more. I'm like making like some active changes um like in my life that's like gearing towards like learning how to heal yourself. Because I feel like people don't talk about this enough, but for the amount of them that grew up in African households, we're all screwed. Everybody's screwed, whether you want to admit it or not. Some internal your internal wiring they butchered it. It's all loose up there, and it's like
No,
you're
yeah.
like, and I feel like most kids don't understand that like you need to start like healing and fixing that on your own. Recently, one thing I'm really proud of is that I have been like spending more time with my family and like we've like actually been doing stuff like I remember because like growing up I didn't have that where like my core family was always together. I was always like extended family. Like this is like the first time like I'm an adult with my like for I'm an adult with my family, and because I hadn't spent so much time with them prior to that, I found it difficult to spend time with them. They would try to talk to me, and I remember when I first came from college after we graduated, they tried to have a conversation. I was looking at her, I was like, "Why is she talking to me for this long?" Like, I, I was getting so mad, and I didn't understand why. Because I was like, because in my head, I was like, logically, her talking to me is not a big deal. Like, she's allowed to talk to me, but why is this making me mad? And like, it took me a little while to understand that because we haven't spent that much time together, being around them this long, and like doing stuff that requires time is like like it's dawned on me. Like slowly, little by little, like I've been incorporating like her and stuff. Like my sister and I have been doing like the gym together. Like my mom and I have been talking about like fashion and like money. Don't get me wrong, I could care less. I like, but it's like I'm actively slowly taking interest in the things that they like, and what I'm realizing is that it's doing a lot of healing for me. Like I have such a stronger relationship with my family, and I'm just like, wow. So it's like it goes back to the idea of like you can like do anything. Like I remember the other day, and I wish I would have taken a picture of this moment, but like I was going to the gym and I didn't even plan on going. My sister was like, "Oh, like she wants to go with me because we go to two separate gyms. She goes to Blink and I go to Crunch." So she was going to Crunch, and then my mom happened to be home coincidentally. It was like, "I'll walk you guys to the gym," and it's like a 20-minute walk. And we were like all walking together, and I was like, "This is like the first time in so long all three of us were like together for like that long. Usually, you see this somebody bops in, somebody bops out." I'm like, so like, my 2025, my them say he's gonna heal because I can't become a Nagato. I can't hurt. I can't. The world can't know my pain. I need to heal and put positivity back in the world. So
Yeah. Speaking of like
What?
hanging out with family and stuff like that, I feel like from what I like you said, growing up in an African household, always living with extended family, I did that for literally most of my life until I came here. And it's like certain things I would have loved my parents to do for me once I came here, like going to soccer games and stuff like that. I didn't get because my parents, I mean, they were always working, everything. Um, I try to do that for my brothers. Like I literally try to force my parents to go to my brothers' games and stuff. Like I literally fly from here to go to see Travis play football games. Like I try to do that because like while you're a kid and you're going through all that, if your parents has never been there, you like, yo, it's okay, it doesn't really matter. But once you grow up, you just like, damn,
I wish they
like
were.
it
Yeah.
would have been nice if my parents were there. Like I literally started blowing up my dad's phone a month in advance. I was like, yo, you going to Travis's game? You going to Travis's game? He's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I called him 3 days before. I was like, you going to Travis's game? He's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But listen, I try to like get stuff where we all like hang out together because eventually everyone's gonna grow up. Everyone's gonna like have their own lives. One thing I struggle to fully understand: everyone has my brothers, my siblings have their own personalities and lives. Like being the oldest sibling, I was so like, bro, my life for a better part after I came here, my life was basically watching them, taking care of them, right? So when I went to college and everything, and I came back and they're still existing, like they're surviving and thriving. I was like, huh, you guys, wow, you're like alive. You're your own person. It's so weird. But like I'm trying to like involve my parents more in their lives because why not? Yeah, you could go to work. Yeah, you have to make money. You have to do this, but when you're free, like I would say this for a fact, my mom knows this. We all tell her this. The days my mom have off, she can't sit still. She has to find something to do, bro. And those are those are the days when we were little. We usually run out the house because she would make us clean the whole house. Like if she's in the house, she can't sit still, and she can't sit still. We can't sit still. So we would usually run out the house and go play soccer. That's why we used to be at 161 all the time. But like, so one thing I'm trying to get her to do is like pivot from not, just aimlessly just doing stuff to stay busy to spending time going to like Travis's football game on the weekends or Lloyd's track. My dad literally went to Travis Lloyd's track meet. He was like, "Whoa, I didn't know he was that fast, man. He's so cool." And I was like, "Yeah, that's why we always tell you go to their stuff. Like they try to literally he came and it's like you can see the sparkle in someone's eyes. Like he saw, like he knew my brothers do sports, right? He was always like, "Yo, do sports. It's good for you." He always pushes us to do sports, but he's never seen us doing it. And it's like him seeing it, he was just like, "Wow, like I've been putting time and energy trying to get you guys to do this. You guys have been doing this, and you guys are actually doing great." And I was like, "Yeah, you see, you enjoyed it." Crazy part, he sat there for 5 hours. Track needs to go crazy, bro. 5 hours, and he didn't get upset, especially knowing my dad. Whew.
that's what I'm
But
saying.
yeah, stuff like that. It's like slowly heals you.
Yeah.
It it solves something inside you that you didn't know needed solving. That's the only way I could put it.
Is Does a part of you ever feel bad? Like, oh, like they are getting this, but I was never able to get this.
I always feel
You
that.
know what I mean?
Yes, I
Like
always feel that.
they're like they like you know how like a lot of older siblings they're like, oh, the version of the parents you're getting is not the version I got.
It's a
Like
fact.
I was there when they were like the devil, and you're getting them when they have gone through all their problems and
There's
stuff.
something up.
But I feel
Yeah.
like
When there's something
I
up.
feel like if we like you have to start like thing is like you just have to start giving people more grace. Like you have to like be able to understand like this happened and like yeah it wasn't great, but like what are you gonna do about it now? Like I always said I wish I had younger siblings, but I wasn't. I was the last child, so it's like I can't force my mom to do all the things. Like I can't do that. I can do what Quasi's doing because there's nobody after me. But like usually I think about it and I'm just like if you don't learn how to forgive people and like you don't learn how to like try to like make the situation better like Kwan said, it's like it heals something in you that you didn't know you had like trying to do it and giving other people a better experience than you have is going to heal that in you in my opinion is that like you don't necessarily people don't have to go
Yeah.
through the same pain you go through like there's nothing more rewarding like the few times where like I've been able to help somebody not go through what I went through, and like I saw that reward, like in my heart, it did something to me. I don't know what it did, but it did something to me. So it's like little things like that where I just feel like, yeah, it's so much more easy, especially with like African parents, to like look at them and be like, you didn't do this, you didn't do this, you didn't do this. But like you have to also learn like they had their own circumstances and they had their own thing. That's why they made the decisions that they made. And it's like, would you rather spend that time blaming them and like calling them not not saying they're bad parents, or like can you like actually try to like work something out and like fix it? So
Yeah, like I don't think of my parents as bad parents. I just don't think anything of them.
oh,
Like that, I don't know if that sounds no, not like in a bad way.
mm,
Like I don't have like oh they did this to me, they did this to me, they are bad, they were bad parents growing. I actually don't think or feel anything about how they raised me because it's how they raised me with what they could do in the moment. And I've always known that in my head. So it's like I've never thought of them as like, oh, this is like I've known some situations I've been in. All like I think about it, and I'm like, yo, that was a really shitty situation I grew up in. Like my life was hell, but it's not like I feel any negative emotions about that. It's more so like my life compared like seeing how other people's lives are like in America the regular standard American child's life, right, compared to how my upbringing was. I'm like, yo, that was really shitty. That's like it's got to be like some sort of illegal something that will get CPS on you, right? But I don't it's like I'm just like anyways, like if I could make it different for my siblings, if I could let them have a different experience than I did, it's just like life is better because they're not go I know what I've gone through, can't let them go through that, right? So and one thing I've realized, like being the first sibling, you're always the lab rat, right?
The
You're the
experiments.
example of what shouldn't be.
that's true.
You're the example. Like me, I would say I was the example of what upbringing shouldn't have, what it could have not been. Yes, what it could have not been, right? Because my brothers are like what it could be. With my brothers, how they grow, bro. I literally watch them, like Shakir said. Like I see them, and I'm just like, damn, they got a better life than me. Like they enjoying life, bro. Let me keep it a buck, bro. This person, Lloyd, gets daily allowances.
Daily,
bro, bro.
daily.
My bro. And no, no, let me tell you the worst part. Like for him is the best part. For me is the worst part because I know what I went through. The best part for him, worst part for me, he has unbridled access to my mom's checking account to pull money as he feels like. He doesn't eat lunch in school. Let that sink in. He does not eat lunch in school. Bro, I went home. When I went back home, my mom was like, yo, he pulled $20 out of my bank account. And I was like, First of all, he has your bank account. Let's start from there, bro. I used to get $1 from her, not per day.
Mhm.
I was just, but the whole week I was like, "Ma, can I get $1 for school? Can I get $1 for school? Can I get?" Because I know I was not going to get more than that, right? So can I get $1 for school? She would ignore it, and then one day out of the week she just give it to me. That's how my life went. But this kid just pulls $20 when he feels like, and
I'm
it's like,
Is the same thing with my little sister. She gets a $50 allowance a week, and then whenever she's out and she doesn't have money, she just texts my dad. My dad sends her 20, $30.
you see,
I got $2 a day. two
Shakir.
dollars a
you
day.
see, that's the thing,
You
Shakir.
were living lavish. $2 a day. I had $2 a week. The sick part, she would give me the $2 and be like, okay, so you're gonna. I feel like I've told you guys before. You like you're gonna go buy chips on Monday. Mind you, I was in high school. Big man like me in 10th grade. You buy chips on Monday for $1, right? And then you wait till Friday to get the beverage to quench your thirst from Monday, and then that's your week. That's not even the sick part. The sick part is for some reason she knew how to call. Every time I get on the train, she knew when I'd get off and walk by the store. So she would call me and be like, "Did you get the chips?"
Oh, she was timing you. Nah, wait, that's crazy though. She gave you money in high school.
In high school, yeah, $2 a week. I'll never forget.
I just,
It got to the point
I
where
didn't
like
even see a penny.
it got to the point where I was just like, it is what it is. But I remember like you were talking about this, like you were like, oh, like do you wish it was better? And it was like I remember it was one of those moments where all three, like me, my sister, and my mom were in the house, and we were in the kitchen, and my sister asked my mom. My sister was like, if you had to go back in life and do things differently, what would you do? Right? And usually I don't pay attention to the conversation, but I usually have AirPods. But for some reason, I didn't have AirPods now. So I go in there and she asks this question, and then I look at my like I was getting out the kitchen, but like I was so curious in the answer. Like I did a double take, and I looked at her, and she was like, "What?" And I was like, What are you gonna answer?" And then she like her answer like blew me away. She was like, and she said it in Chi, which I can't because she can't understand. I don't feel like doing the captions and translating either. But she was like, where I come from in Ghana, if you went back 30 years ago and told me I would be sitting here today doing what I had done, doing what I have accomplished, I would tell you you're lying. She was like, I've been able to get out of the household that I was in with 6 children in conditions that we were not like good in. I've been able to come to a different country, make a decent living, get out of that decent living, and give my children a future that is guaranteed to be 10 times as better as mine. First of all, I looked at her and I was like, when did you become so philosophical? Like this is not true. This is but like once really it finally clicked in my head that like, oh my god, like she is also a person with feelings. Like she's also a person that had like goals and dreams and all this X, Y, and Z, the same way I did. So it's like, who am I to be sitting here and judging her and doing anything for the decisions she made when like she literally just played the cards she was dealt the best way she knew how to. I remember I walked out of that conversation, I was like, man, she's not so bad after all. Maybe.
No, heavy on the this person has feelings and emotions, and like, bro, that's. I feel like us people, we know that people have feelings and emotions and lives, but it takes a certain extent to see that your family actually like your parents have had their own goals and like lives and ambitions and stuff that to some extent they had to curtail because of you, because of your siblings, because of other family members. Like that's something I I literally is that's something I realize, but I don't realize until I have conversations with my dad and stuff. Most of the time, we all just cracking up and laughing. But then it's like, and then later on in the night, it hits him like, wait, this man used to do this. I know he wanted to do that. Like, they didn't choose. Well, they of course they chose to come to America and do all this. But like, if they could have a better life, they would have a better life. Like they would if they had the choice to have a better life or go back in the past, tell themselves how to have better. They would 100% do well. Just like how like we all sit down, we think about the past. We're like, oh, if I could do this better, if I could do this, if I could do that. Like
We should
I
have
feel
started
like parents.
this podcast when we went to college. Hot take.
So
I'm
When,
gonna
when,
mute this. I'm gonna mute this speaker right now. Quadro, please take that back because there's no way you just said that when I was saying stuff like this back in the past, and you were reluctant to do it. Shakir was like, "Oh, bro, when Shakir first moved to his crib and we went there, I was like, yo, this is a good spot for a podcast." Everybody was like, and
I
now
feel,
you want to say that?
I feel like it didn't click till just now, but better late than never, brother. Better late than never.
Yo,
But I feel like, because I feel like all the things that were going on in college, if we could get here and talk about it, that would have been like
While it was happening,
while it was happening. Because now I
that would have been
forgot, like I've
insane.
let it go. That would have been like the time when what you call it? That girl made the song about me. I could have came here. I could have came here and read the lyrics. That was crazy. Actually, for the viewers, I'm gonna actually say the story because, and I hope she sees this because that was messed up. So, for context, if you guys,
That was messed up.
I'm gonna say the story, and then I think
I forgot this even happened.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so many memories and stuff. It's like if I could go back and we could just film an episode every week, just recapping what has happened to us, I promise you, it would have been so many episodes deep of some of the funniest. Like, but in college, there was this girl that I was talking to, and I can't say her name, and I can't say how I heard this information either because the person who told me wasn't supposed to tell me. But me and her were like cool. Like, I knew personally I would never date her, but she was like cool to hang around. And like, you meet one of those people, like you're not meant to be together. It's meant to like kick it and then keep it pushing. We were cool. The thing is, like, my senior year, I was very like closed off. Like, I cut off a lot of people. I wasn't really talking to a lot of people. Like, I was just more like to myself, and because I was like, I need to mentally get prepared for like the next stage of life. So like, I would hang out with her, but I didn't hang out with her as much as she'd want to. And I knew this because it's like every time she would come to me, she'd be like, "Oh, like you want to hang out? You want to do this?" But always I was like busy. But then when I would always want to hang out, like she would like let me hang out and stuff like that, right? So for context, every time I go to her room, like she always had like mad snacks for no reason, and I would always eat because, as you guys couldn't tell, I love eating, right? She's never told me she had a problem with this. And there was one time I used to drink a lot of her water bottles, right? Mind you, I drank like maybe like, if it comes in a pack of 40, about like 12. And she looked at me and she was like, "Oh," I remember one time in front of her other friends, she was like, "You always come to my dorm and you just drink all of my water." The minute she said that, I went to Target the next day and bought a 40 pack, two 40 packs, slapped them on my shoulders, went to her dorm and said, "Here you go. This is all the water I've had and then some," right? Cool. We don't really hang out. We really start just keeping it cordial. Like nothing too crazy. Like we hang out, we watch a movie, ba da 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 da, bada bing, bada boom. Cool. Like it's just it. Like we're keeping it cute. One day she's like, text me. She's like, "I'm having a concert. You should come." Right. And I was actually thinking about going because I'm like, what? Like I'm always down to support somebody else. Like regardless of like, if I could go in and support whatever you're doing, cool. So I'm going, and something, I don't know what, but something came up where I missed the event. So I missed the event. Da da da. Stuff goes by. I asked her how it goes after because I missed. I was like, "I'm so sorry, I missed it." Da da da. Cool, right? Cool. There was the other girl I was hanging out. She was like, "You should go to this said girl's recital," and I was like, "Nah, I was busy, but I was gonna come. I was gonna show my support." And she starts dying. Like I'm talking about, like I've never seen a woman laugh this much in my life. You were gonna go, and I was like, "Yeah." She invited me, gave me a personal invite. She was like, "She gave you a personal invite?" So I'm like, "What's going on?" She's like, she literally held my hand. I was like, "Let me sit down when I tell you this." So apparently, she wrote a song, and the song was about you.
Oh, I just remembered the name. Charity case.
So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, what is it called? And she was like, she titled the song "Charity Case." I'm not gonna lie, the anger that felt through my body when I heard that title "Charity Case" because it never gave Charity Case over here. So in my head, I'm sitting there and I'm like, what now? And I'm a music person that I care about the lyrics more than anything because the lyrics tell you everything you need to know. So I'm like, I gotta find these lyrics. My school's website recorded this. I think if I go back into my thing right now, I can find the video. Maybe on a reacts on a later year, we'll react to it and then dissect the lyrics. I go back and we put this on the computer, and I'm not gonna lie, I should have sued for defamation. I should have sued for defamation. I should have done what Jonathan Mayer should have done, and I should have sued for defamation because she was like, I was too embarrassed to show you to my friends. I'm like, first of all, I was never the ugly one, and that's another thing. If you're in a situation, I feel like you need to assess which one of you two is ugly and move accordingly. Because it wasn't. I know for a fact it wasn't me. I'm not saying I'm no pretty boy, but I wasn't the ugly one either. So I forget what the lyrics was. She was like, I knew you were bad for me from the jump. Mind you, you're the one always asking me to hang out. So how are you telling me that? She was like, you come to my room, da 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 da. Da. You invite me there. You like, and in my head, I was like so flabbergasted. I don't think you understand. I wanted to hop in the studio and drop my diss track back that day.
That's embarrassing. I'ma just let it go. Now I said imagine Quadro in the stew.
Yeah, and that was gonna be my little intro to it, and I was gonna do
The
it.
havoc you have wreaked on that continent.
Just two or three, nothing too crazy. But we were like, and I thought about it, and I remember I like dressed up and I like was gonna walk to her and I was gonna confront her because I was like, there's no need for you to have done this. Like if you and that's one thing like I was but the thing is she has this habit. I wasn't the first guy she wrote a song about. Like she tries to like get her music inspiration out of people that has done nothing to her. Like that's a common theme. So I wanted to
Like
walk
she's on her Taylor Swift type shit.
and I wanted to like go up to her so bad and be like, you didn't have to do this. Like you literally could have came to me as an adult and been like, I'm gonna write a song about you. Da 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 da. That's what it's gonna be. I feel like there could have been some because I find everything a joke. There could have been something comedic about this that we could have made it, and like I feel like it would have been such a better experience for the both of us. But for you to go behind my back, make a song, title it "Charity Case," that's not even invite me to come sit front row and listen. And the part that pissed me off in the video, that was the best song in her entire recital. People were jumping up, people were bumping. You would think you think this was a concert at the weekend. Like people were like, yeah, I forget what the bridge was, but she had like this is like, if only I knew, and people were like, if only I said, oh no,
Did anyone? You think anyone else at school like knew it was about you?
I think it was just her close friends, but somebody in her close friend circle had slipped and told the person who told me. So I was like, I don't.
Mm.
So I think only a handful of people knew it, but it wasn't like big enough to the point where it got back to me. Because my school is really small, and if that was out there, I would have known. So the fact they didn't get back to me let me know that it was only select people that knew it, and people like kept it to themselves. But also, like it was like, what are we gonna do with this much? Also, we're graduating in 2 months,
Mm.
so that was the case. But I hope
That's
she's
messed
doing
up
good.
though.
I pray for her music career. I don't, but
Honestly, honestly it's an honor. I would love for somebody to make a song about me. Not
I'm
name a charity case though. Like that's a little crazy.
before
And invite you to come sit front row to listen to it.
one of these days
Crazy work.
I'm going to find the song and we're gonna play it. I'm gonna mask
Oh, it
the
was on YouTube.
it's out on YouTube. You have to go to like my school directory and like look it up in like the music recital section. But I don't know if she's gonna drop it as an EP or not. She has a Spotify. Actually,
No, I don't think
let
I
me
don't
look.
think you would have access to your school email anymore.
I do.
Yeah, I know they
I
disconnected after
do.
a while.
It's like
No, I
I
have
I'm
access
just
to it.
not part of the. I don't have access to everything I would as a student, but the alumni database, yeah.
Oh, okay. You looking for it on Spotify?
Um, yeah, she didn't drop it. She didn't drop it. Her last single was 2024, and no, she didn't drop. She didn't drop Charity Case. But if you're watching this, you should drop Charity Case though. It's something we can laugh. It's something I can laugh about now that I'm out of the situation. Back then, nothing was funny. But that's our little story time for the day. We're going to hop.
Charity case
I,
is insane.
I
That should be the
remember
title of this.
I was talking to someone and then I found out so there was this song that was going viral in like the Bengali side of TikTok,
Mhm.
right? I was talking to this girl and I found out that that song was actually about her. And which was crazy because I heard
Mm,
the song before myself. And then like to find like the person it's about. Yeah.
that's crazy.
The one thing about
Was
you,
it a good song or was it a messed up song?
The show was ass. The show was garbage.
the one thing about you here, you know every Bengali person, right? Because on the podcast Instagram, since you're like one of the only few people I follow that too, viewers. Because of that, every like my suggestion is just people that you follow mainly because the other two people they don't follow people. And I remember there was one time it was like
I'm not even on it.
it was 27 Bengali flags in a row, and every single one was followed by you. Are you trying to build like a network? Like what's going on?
Probably just like
He's
people I
building an
know.
army, bro. He's assembling a Bengali army.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. A man proud of his culture.
Nah.
I'm not mad at it at all.
If we need to dock somebody, we call Shakira up and he calls his people. Nah. That's so funny. Imagine Shakira's a spearhead of a gang, a Bengali gang somewhere, bro. And we all don't know about it.
Here's my question to you, Shakir. Right? As a Ghanaian man, right?
Mhm.
What are my odds of landing a Bengali woman?
You know, you had the chance. You had the chance in
With
the
who?
fucking train. In the train,
This is not making.
Oh yeah.
This
he
is not,
lost his. On God, I bet it on everything that was his soulmate. He will not find happiness because he let that go.
I'll be okay. I'll be okay.
I
I'll
Give
don't know
context to
if
what
it
the,
would be great.
give context to what happened. Why I think that's your soulmate.
Like, okay, so it was one time I got off for the viewers. I got off work, and I'll keep this real short and sweet because I really don't think anything of it, and I don't think even now, like I'm happy with the decision that I made. But I got on the train, and there was someone sitting like across from me, and like it was one of like no, I'm not somebody that gets approached often. Like I rarely give approach. I did get 2 marriage proposals today at church, though. That was crazy, but we the Ghanaian
What?
the Ghanaian 50-year-old for some I'm going to caveat a little bit. I wish girls my age saw me how these 50-year-old Ghanaian women at my church see me because my life would be completely different. Some lady looked at me and told me I will sell all my assets to fund our marriage, to fund our marriage ceremony.
You got gilfs after you?
And
Yo,
for some reason,
bro,
it's like
you
every
fumbling the bag. She has a couple of years left. Like you fumbling
Put
the
life
bag.
insurance on her, bro.
Exactly.
I wish Ghanaian girls my age would see me how these 50-year-old Ghanaian women see me. Like, they really think I am, like, the most handsome man on the planet. And when it comes to my age, they're like, he's just a regular man. Yeah. I'm just like, God,
But
damn,
would you marry a Ghanaian girl though?
100%. I don't know what
I feel like last time you said something else.
I feel like he's gonna meet so many Ghanaian women in his time. He's just gonna have like such a hard
Wisconsin is
choice
crazy.
picking one of them.
I'm gonna have to edit that. I'm just gonna bleep it because I haven't told people yet. But my thing is, I'm not saying just Ghanaian women, but I would want to marry someone, and I keep it real cute. Someone from the African continent, a little Jamaican, Barbados, Saint Lucian,
Oh, a
Haiti.
Nubian queen, basically.
Yes,
You want some melanin?
I was. That's
Hmm.
and because and we talk about it. I've never said it. Like I think that's the relationship in which I would thrive the best in. Any other situation, like I'm not gonna limit myself because I don't know what the love of my life looks like. If she happens to be from the Asian continent, the other continents, if she happens to be Caucasian, I hope not. But if like I if
The
that
love of his life is an Asian. No, because that's the only continent he knew.
but if that's the case, that's fine. But me personally, I'm now gravitating towards more of like Ghanaian. It's beautiful, but if it's Jamaica, but like anywhere in Africa, I'll do it. Anywhere in the Caribbean, I'll do it. But mainly because I know that's the relationship I'll thrive the most in. But what story was I? Oh, on the train. Yes. So I'm on the train and basically like we're just making I'm making eye contact with her, but it's like it's in passing. Like I stare off into space and I come down, but every time it's like I'm making eye contact, and it's like it happened more than 4 times. So I was like, it's either A, we're just that lucky, or B, she's staring directly at me, and it happens to be the latter. Because then for like 10 seconds, I stopped to look right at her, and she looked right at me. Right, so we get to one stop, and then she just like gets up. The person next to me gets up and like walks away, and then she walks up and sits next to me, and we just start having a conversation. And I think it was one of the best 30-minute conversations I've ever had in my lifetime. Like I learned so much about her, and like beautiful conversation. as she was getting off the train, she was like, "Oh," she asked me what stop I was getting off, and then she got off the stop before it, and it wasn't even her stop. Her stop was like time ago.
Way before.
So she got up and she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get off here, and I'm gonna let you find me. If you find me, then we know it's meant to be. If you don't, then I guess it is what it is." Something told me that wasn't for me. Something told me the devil knew I was on my weakest and he knew where to attack. So I went to bed and I prayed and I said, "God, I know it's not for me." I just never followed up. I don't think I'm never gonna follow up now. Also,
But did you find her?
I did. I just never
Well, I
followed up.
think you did.
I found her just to show you guys
You
what she looked like, but I never followed. I never followed
So
through.
you did found her.
Not,
That means it was meant to be.
no, but I was
Let's
supposed to,
ask the viewers. Let's ask the viewers if they think that this is the love of your life or not.
I was
Do
my
you
heart,
guys think Quadro should follow this woman?
my heart was somewhere else at the time, and it still is somewhere else. So it's like
That's fair. If your heart is somewhere else,
it's
just let it
somewhere
be.
else. It's stuck somewhere else. That's the problem. But
You
so I was like, I was never gonna follow through. So it's like it is what it is.
Episode.
Mm-hmm. And I'm the title of this episode is gonna be "Quadro's a charity case?" Question mark. And then like I think that was
know?
it.
Am I a charity case?
But ladies and gentlemen, it's been your boy KT.
Oh
Shakir,
gosh, we're doing this. Quasi.
Make sure to like.
Subscribe.
comment.
And we'll catch you guys next week.